He says the new sheriff is near. A warm welcome to all of you on the other side of the screen. I am the Overly Positive Fanboy, and this is Overly Positive Reviews. Well, Blazing Saddles is turning 50 years old this year, and it is such an iconic, beloved, controversial, infamous part of cinematic history. So how about we take a look and see just why that is, shall we?
He rode a blazing saddle, he wore a shining star.
Originally released in 1974, Blazing Saddles has stood the test of time as a cultural touchstone and an enduring satirical spoof comedy. Of course, it's also infamous for its crude sense of humour, especially the frequent usage of the N-word, which made Blazing Saddles a very controversial film during its production. However, don't go thinking that this is some kind of edgy racist slop that aged like milk. Blazing Saddles is a biting satire of racism, skewering the romanticized idea of the American frontier we often saw in Western films by showing the kinds of backwards attitudes that would have run rampant during the time period in real life.
Good morning, ma'am. And isn't it a lovely morning?
Up yours.
While also making every single racist in this movie really, really, really dumb.
The Petaman Thruway? Now what'll that asshole think of next? Has anybody got a dime?
I don't know, James.
Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Also, the film is meant to be a commentary on the Western genre itself by showing just how artificial and sanitized they truly were. At least, that's what I read on TV Tropes. Yeah, some of the finer points of this satire might be lost on me though. You see, I don't really watch Westerns or know a lot about them. Yeah, I'm just going in blind here. Oh no, have I just invalidated this entire review? Did you know this might be the very first fart joke in cinematic history? Nice save, fanboy. However, even for uncultured swine like myself who won't get all the references and trope skewering on display, Blazing Saddles still stands as a classic. How? Because it's so damn funny. Seriously, this thing has jokes coming out of its ass. Cleveland Little, Gene Wilder, Harvey Korman, Slim Pickens, Madeline Cowan, Burton Gilliam, Alex Karras, and the rest of the cast are giving their all in one of the most rapid-fire approaches to comedy I've ever seen. Even if one joke doesn't land, there's probably another joke happening in the exact same scene that will appeal to you. Whether it's watching Sheriff Bart effortlessly outwit racist idiots, Hedy Lamarr.
It's not Hedy, it's Hedley Lamarr.
Hedley Lamarr having to deal with incompetent underlings while also being an incredibly hammy villain himself, said incompetent underlings being a riot in their own right, or just any moment Mel Brooks is on screen, Blazing Saddles proves to be a delight throughout its entire runtime. The only thing I would criticize is that some of the pop culture references are a bit obscure, even for 1974 audiences. As awesome as Hedy Lamarr was, I doubt most modern audiences will have heard of her unless they're weird film nerds like me. And that's without mentioning Dr. Gillespie, Cecil B. DeMille, Richard Dix, or Randolph Scott. In short, Blazing Saddles is a controversial comedy classic, and for a very good reason. It deserves its reputation as a cinematic icon, and it's only gotten even more relevant 50 years after it first came out. Not bad for a film Warner Bros. Almost didn't release because they thought it wouldn't sell. Well, that was Blazing Saddles, and this has been Overly Positive Reviews. Man, it's sure was nice to take a break from looking at new releases and really delve into a piece of iconic cinema history. Yep, well, next time we'll be going back to the usual formula where I take a look at what I saw in the... Yeah, how's that music coming from? Oh jeez!
Rode a hero, the blazing samurai.
So, yeah. Somebody actually said one day, you know what this world really needs? A kids movie remake of Blazing Saddles. I have no idea how this came to be. What I do know is that this was originally announced all the way back in 2010 under the title Blazing Samurai, only to get hit with a bunch of delays and distributive changes. Plus, you know, that thing that happened in 2020. If you want more details, Rebel Taxi made a whole video about this film's troubled production back in 2019, and yet it still got made and released. You gotta admire the commitment. Unfortunately, there's not much else to admire about The Legend of Hank. The association with Blazing Saddles may have hurt Paws of Fury in the long term, as this film is nowhere near as clever, subversive, or entertaining as its live-action counterpart. The plot becomes a standard clumsy hero learns to become competent thanks to a gruff, initially reluctant mentor storyline that we've seen plenty of times before. Yeah, we've got a big old cliche storm here. Paws of Fury does make an effort to implement Blazing Saddles' racism commentary by having a theme of Hank being a dog in a town full of cats who don't like dogs. It's pretty serviceable for a kids' movie and leads to a decent message about, learning to work together and not judging based on appearances and all that standard moralizing. However, it's nowhere near as clever, insightful, or as hilariously executed as the racism satire in Saddles. However, while the story has been there, done that, the Blazing Saddles influence does mean that Paws of Fury is putting in more effort into its jokes when compared to other mediocre kids' films. There's a similar jokes coming thick and fast feel here, and there's some genuinely inspired and amusing bits on display, including stuff that's not homaging Saddles. Unfortunately, there's also a barrage of
Wait, that music! Hey, this is the training montage, isn't it? Hey, can't we just skip ahead to the part where I'm good?
which comes across as lazy when compared to the anarchic fourth wall breaks Mel Brooks is known for. The voice cast are also good here, giving solid performances throughout, with the unfortunate exception of the villain. Ricky Gervais should not be allowed near a voice acting booth. His deadpan style just does not fit with the kind of movie Paws of Fury is trying to be. Not only does he pale in comparison to Harvey Korman, he's just woefully miscast and drags down every scene he's in. Compliments I'll pay this film is that the animation is pretty good, everything looks nice, and the animators do a good job of matching the energy of the script. Overall, Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank is an unremarkable, yet decently enough film to entertain its... Overall, Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank is an unremarkable, yet decent enough film that will entertain its target audience, but inevitably pales in comparison to the comedy classic it's trying to homage. Well, that was Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, and this has been Overly Positive Reviews. So, as I was saying, next time we're going back to the monthly retrospective. We're taking a look at all the stuff I watched in March 2024. We got a lot of interesting stuff here. And, in keeping with the topic, we even got some racial satire going on. See you then, folks. Bye now.